everyone, to the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. It's your host, your boy, RumboyzRobbie. Make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the content. We greatly appreciate all of you that support us. We're trying to turn this plaque back here into a silver play button, not just for myself, but for everybody that contributes here to the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. So make sure you guys give that algorithm a little bit of a boost. Like, comment, subscribe, drop a comment, share the content. This is fantasy football friendly. Sometimes our takes may not always be too friendly, but what we do on this show is we go through and we grade the fantasy football skill positions of all 32 NFL offenses. Today, we are going to be talking about the Minnesota Vikings. Before we get into that, I do want to remind everyone that Pros with Joe's Charity Leagues is going down. Again, Pros with Joe's Charity Leagues is going down. It is that time of year. I will be representing the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. I will have the link down below in the description. Look, we've all gone through hard times. If you have, a little bit of room in your heart, maybe a little bit of extra room in your bank account, we're raising money. Greatly appreciate it. It's an amazing cause. And also the winner will raffle off, whether you donate $1 or however much, we're going to raffle off. The winner will receive a Rumboyz swag bag that'll have a t-shirt. It'll have a shot glass. It'll have of course, backpack itself and a bottle of rum. So donate, earn the swag bag, and an opportunity to co-manage a fantasy football team with yours truly. Link down below. Let's get into talking about the Minnesota Vikings today, because I know that that's what all of you are here for. First things first, yes, I am aware of the injuries that have taken place with the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings have had probably the worst training camp out of all 32 teams. All right, the injury bug is alive and well. We know that J.J. McCarthy is going to miss the season with the torn meniscus. He is out. Surgery is required. We're not so much really worried about Nick Mullins. So, like always here on Fantasy Football Friendly, we are going to start off at the quarterback position with Sam Darnold. All right. Sam Darnold, recently, we just had the Mental Health Awareness League, which is another charity league that I run. We just had that league. We just wrapped up that draft about 2 days ago. All right. Sam Darnold in this league where you start 2 quarterbacks, it's a super flex, where you start 2 QBs. J.J. McCarthy went to, I believe, the person that drafted 12th. Okay, no, I'm sorry. He went to SC Express in the 8th round at 8-4. All right. Darnold ended up getting taken by the person that drafted from the 10th spot. Or sorry, Sam Darnold went to the person that drafted from the 10th spot in the 16th round. Nobody was looked prior to J.J. McCarthy going down. Consensus has Sam Darnold as QB 33. Okay. Prior to J.J. McCarthy going down, no one was clocking for Sam Darnold. Even people that were spending the first-round draft capital to grab a Justin Jefferson weren't in a rush to stack him with Sam Darnold. This offense now looks drastically different. Drastically different with Sam Darnold at the helm. Now, Kevin O'Connell is a great football mind, great head coach. He's going to game plan to Darnold's strengths. Some of those strengths may be throwing interceptions. It's going to be very frustrating football to watch just from the quarterback position. Does Sam Darnold's value and does his ADP increase with J.J. McCarthy going down? Yes. Do I think that he creeps up into, a 8-4? I don't think that we're looking at that. I feel like that there are other quarterbacks in that same tier 4 QB range that I would rather chance on. I'd rather go, Watson, Levis, who I think is really going to spin it this year in Tennessee and is looking good despite the mayonnaise commercials. Geno, like I'd rather go out there and risk it all with the Geno. We'll wait and see how Bo Nix look. Bo Nix look good. And he's down in that tier 5 range with Bryce Young, Justin Fields, Aiden O'Connell, guys of the sort. I'd rather take that gamble than gamble with Sam Darnold when I've already seen that movie before. Okay? Don't get me wrong. Points will be scored. This is also the best situation that Darnold has had. I know, yes, he was in San Fran, but Purdy lit it up. Like, Purdy was clearly, obviously, the guy, right? This is probably the best situation, the best weapons, the best coach that Darnold has ever had. And that is where the upside resides with Sam Darnold. Because he has such a big arm and because he can push it so deep down the field, there are going to be interceptions. There are going to be mistakes that are going to be made. I would not want you in a 2 QB format. I don't want him being your QB1, your QB2. Obviously, QB1 for damn sure. I don't want him being your QB2. All right. There's other options, other ways you can build your roster to where Darnold doesn't have to be going out there being a starter for you week 1. Let's get into the backfield. Aaron Jones coming over from Green Bay. You gotta love it. The rivalry is going to be great between those two teams. The rivalry is going to be great. One of the things I really want to point out is that in weeks 15 and 20, or weeks 15 through 20, weeks 15 through 20, Jones averaged 21.6 touches, 120.3 total yards, and that was like on a weekly basis that he was giving you those numbers from weeks 15 through 20. Last time I checked, those are my championship weeks. So something really key there to hone in on. I love Aaron Jones as a talent. I am loving kind of where I'm going to be able to get Aaron Jones. The depth behind Aaron Jones with Chandler and the such, Ty Chandler and the such, doesn't exactly, woo me. It's not exactly the sexiest backfield. Aaron Jones is going to make the most of every single one of his touches. Likely to be ran as a bell cow for the most part. All right. 8th in explosive run rate during that 15 to 20 weeks 15 through 20 stretch. 8th in explosive run rate and 10th in yards after contact per attempt. I get that he was not healthy at the front half of the season. He's healthy now. And that offense is going to need him with Sam Darnold at quarterback. They're going to need to run the ball. They're going to need to rely on Aaron Jones. So I'm liking Aaron Jones as my RB2 if I even want to wait a little bit on running back. You can do that. If you want to make him an RB1, I mean, you're looking at I grabbed him. I grabbed him at picking from the 6th spot. I grabbed him in the 7th round in the mental health awareness league. He's my RB2. I like him being I like him leading your backfield. If you're going to wait till about the 7th round to grab a running back, I don't mind him leading your backfield because of the opportunity share that's going to be there. But I like him better as your RB2, and I think it's a better weapon for you. If you go RB early, let's say you get a Bijan or a Brees or a Saquon. And then if you got Aaron Jones is like a 2, oh my gosh, who's going to stop you? But enough about Aaron Jones. I've fangirled enough there. This is where we really fangirl, and that's Jay Jettas, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, Justin Jefferson, wide receiver 4 in PPR formats. Despite even Sam Darnold being the quarterback, Justin Jefferson is going to get his. Justin Jefferson is going to get his. I just want to check one thing here. I want to see where he went off the board in the staff league. All right, the Rumboyz staff league that is actually in the midst of a slow draft right now with drop the mic on the clock. Let's see here. So Justin Jefferson in that league has not gone yet, and we are just about halfway through the second round, give or take. Okay. So with that being said and stated, it looks like that there is a little bit of concern surrounding Justin Jefferson with the departure of Kirk Cousins and it being Sam Darnold and it not being JJ McCarthy. You were able to pretty much grab him 112 for the most part. Now you're seeing guys grabbing Amon above Jay Jettas. You're seeing people grab Jamar Chase above Jay Jettas. And that's just within a couple of days of it being a for sure that is going to be Sam Darnold for a good majority of the season. Jay Jettas, despite, we all saw a receiver, despite dealing with some injuries, finished 5th in points per game, even though he lost or even though he missed 7 games and did not have Kirk Cousins as his quarterback, which is super, super impressive. Shout out to O'Connell for still game planning ways to get Justin Jefferson the ball. 68 receptions, 1,000 yards, and 5 TDs. Again, those TD numbers would have been higher if it wasn't, if it wasn't for the quarterback situation, plus Jetta's dealing with his own injuries as well. All right, 28% target share, 18.4 fantasy points per game when he came back. Like, come on. Before Cousins got injured, led all fantasy receivers with 21.7 points per fantasy points per game. The only liabilities that you deal with drafting Justin Jefferson is Sam Darnold. That's a liability. I feel like Jettis comes into this year healthy, ready to prove, ready to show out, ready to take over that wide receiver 1 spot from CD. And he's in Tyreek and those guys that he's in that conversation with. Jettis is one of the best name receivers in the league. All right. Even with Sam Darnold being the quarterback, I look at this like an old school DeAndre Hopkins situation. If you remember back in the day, Hopkins, when he was in Houston, didn't have the greatest quarterbacks, but he was quarterback proof and he always produced for you in fantasy. I see that with Justin Jefferson. No matter who the quarterback is, Justin Jefferson is going to produce. Would it be nice if he had an elite tier, a tier 1 quarterback to operate off of, getting him the ball? Absolutely. That ain't the case in Minnesota. They're kind of fucked at the quarterback position. Next up, I do want to talk about this team. This team has speed, and we got to talk about Jordan Addison, wide receiver 42 last year. That was all. I want to remind everyone that he was collecting 17% of the target share. He recorded 70 receptions for 911 yards and 10 touchdowns last year. Yes, Jettis wasn't in the fold. Yes, Hawkinson, was banged up. Yes, it was because the ball has to go somewhere. Fuck it, Addison's down there. We have no Jettis. Kirk Cousins getting banged up, going down injured. Him no longer being there. I don't know what Jordan Addison's outlook is because of all the different factors surrounding him. All right. And that's just me being completely honest with you. I don't even know if I'm going to have Addison on a roster. I mean, I'm sure I have him in best ball. I know I have him in best ball. Ninth round is where is about where you're getting Addison. And I feel like you can even, wait a little bit. He's in that same range as Keon Coleman, Deontay Johnson, kind of. I'd rather go with those guys, Roma Dunze, Christian Watson. I'd rather go with those guys than Addison just because I feel like their situations are a little bit more easier to tell than Jordan Addison. All right. So that's my take on Addison. It's really a gamble drafting Addison. If he puts up for you and he produces for you, you're going to have a fill date. It's going to be great. Hey, you got a USC guy throwing you the ball, USC to USC connection. So maybe there is something there. Maybe get away with the Darnold Addison stack and then it pays off dividends. Who knows? Maybe it could win you the league. Next, I do want to get into TJ Hawkinson at the tight end position. Tight end 13 is crazy. Whenever we talk about TJ Hawkinson, who is a rum boy, we did interview him. Be sure to check out that footage. You should be able to check that out. I'm like, I was about to point somewhere, but we're good. We're good. Wherever I put it, you check it out. Wherever I put it, you check it out. All right. Easily should be in the top 8 tight end conversation, top 7 tight end conversation. That's pretty much been his finish throughout his career. Was pretty much tight end 6, tight end 8 range. Tore his ACL and MCL back in December. Still gonna, is he gonna be available for you early in the season? No, he's probably not gonna be available for you early in the season. But that's okay. That's okay. I have no problems going like George Kittle and then like a couple of rounds later grabbing TJ Hawkinson. TJ Hawkinson fell to the 11th freaking round in the Mental Health Awareness League. Hawkinson, when he comes back, could be the tight end that takes you to the promised land, especially if you're in tight end premium. If you're in tight end premium, I have no problems going Kittle and then having Hawkinson on the back end a little bit later. I have no problems, going up, grabbing a top dog tight end and then having Hawkinson come back off the bench and then trading away that top tier tight end and then having Hawkinson take me to the chip, or even doing vice versa, sending away Hawkinson and then et cetera, et cetera. I feel like a lot of people are overlooking Hawkinson because of the injury. I feel like people are overlooking Hawkinson because you have these big personalities at the position, like a Kelsey and a Kittle, that really garner so much attention because of how great of a season Sam Laporta had last year. Push Hawkinson down a little bit last year. The hype around what Dalton Kincaid can be, the hype around what Trey McBride can be. A lot of people are going out there and going to get these other tight ends, and that's fine. I encourage you still giving TJ Hawkinson a roster spot. Let him sit on your bench for a little while and then go out there and get the fantasy football championship. All right? Because he's going to be a guy that you're going to want to play in your lineup when he comes back healthy. That's just the way that it is. With that being said and being stated, all right, let's go ahead and give him a grade. First, depth concerns. I don't like the depth on this roster behind any of these players. All right. Boom. That's depth concerns. Now let's get into grading this team. Kevin O'Connell's a mastermind. I worry about the production of the quarterback and what Sam Darnold's going to be able to do. Sam Darnold wasn't even able to do much when he's had weapons previously. You know, he wasn't really that great throwing to Garrett Wilson. We saw some flashes here and there, but for the most part, no one's really been wowed. Aaron Jones, damn good back. But if something happens to him, you're worried about it being Ty Chandler and I can't say his name, Nene, being the guys back there to kind of foster the load, or Kine. I'm sorry, Kine. Kine Nwagu. So you're a little bit worried there. Outside of Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, and then just with the murkiness of what Addison's future looks like, that's worrisome. Justin Jefferson's the best talent on this entire roster. Worrying about when TJ Hawkinson is going to come back. Fantasy friendly grade D-. Fantasy friendly grade D-. I'm going D-. I'm sorry, Vikings fans. The quarterback situation really, really worries me, just because he's not one of the most productive, even with talent around. D- for the Minnesota Vikings. This is no shade towards Vikings fans. I know that Notorious Nerd is going to see this show, Avenged Nerd, and he's going to be pissed at this grade. But I'm just honest. Outside of Jettis, I worry. There's still value around this team, but you're having to pigeonhole Hawkinson. Aaron Jones is going to be a 2 when you construct your roster. When it's all said and done, you're praying for just a whole lot of upside with this. So, fantasy friendly grade D-. That's a wrap on the Minnesota Vikings. It's your boy RumboyzRobbie. Make sure that you guys hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share the content. Let me know your thoughts. Was I too harsh? Is D- maybe a little preposterous? Let us know down below. Remember, Pros with Joe's, link in the description. We outie. Cheers to me. Cheers to you all the Rumboyz and girls. What it do.